Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, back at it again. Another week in the ever-changing, ever-wild, up and down real estate market. Is it up and down right now?
It is up and down right now, yes.
Emotionally?
Emotionally, physically,
Spiritually? What's
everything,
going on?
yes. I was talking to someone just before I came here, and he's like, are you going to be available tomorrow morning? I'm like, physically, mentally, what do you want from me? It's like a little bit of everything. I'm like, I'm going to give it a try. Yes.
Does it seem like you're getting pulled in 100 different directions every day, constantly?
Yes. Yes.
Has it always felt that way to you?
No, I think I'm pretty good, and I usually thrive at the insanity. But I think now, I don't know if it's my birthday coming up, that my mind is a little. So right now,
21? How old?
yeah, sure. And let's change stuff. I'm going to be 51. I have no issue talking about my age. I'm gonna
It's
be
only a number.
51.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yesterday I was thinking about it. I'm like, when my mom was 51, I thought she was old, but now that I'm 51, I think I'm pretty young. So I don't know if it's a new generation of like being more active in life and in everything, or if it's just being young and always thinking people are old. So I'm okay with 51. I took my Saturday. I mean, I worked in the morning, but Saturday I did some spa things for me.
Oh,
Yes.
that's nice.
Yes.
It's
I'm
nice
like,
to
I'm gonna,
take care of
yeah.
yourself.
And I do struggle with that I am a workaholic. People know that about me. And I am working on not being as much of a workaholic, which is kind of insane because the guilt is here with me. But then Saturday afternoon, I'm like, I will give myself time to take care of myself as my birthday gift to myself.
Is the guilt, one client has called and you've got 6 inspections over the next 3 weeks you got to plan? Is it like that level, like down in the nitty gritty, or is it more of just that you're disconnected?
So this was Saturday, and I did put the phone away. And of course, as soon as I was done, I was like answering everyone. And then yesterday afternoon, we had a Brazilian barbecue at a client's house, and they are Brazilian. So, and we can talk about Brazilian barbecue, so you
I'll always talk
understand what I'm
Brazilian
talking about.
barbecue with you, yeah.
But I had no phone near, like I was at their house for 4 hours, far from my phone. And I actually made the decision to stay for the rest of the day present with my family.
Okay.
And of course, this morning, I'm like, why? 'Cause I had like 300. So today I'm paying the price. And that's why you noticed that I'm always early, and I came here a minute before the show started.
And that's okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you need that rest to
Yes,
disconnect.
yes.
And maybe, you want to get away and play pickleball or something like that. That's all the craze right now. Amenities in neighborhoods, is that still a hot thing? Like, do buyers even care about the amenities that a neighborhood has to offer, or no,
Yes.
stick me in the middle of the woods?
I would say it depends, but I would say that people that, if you are on an HOA, meaning you will have to follow the rules, at least give me something. So give me a pool, give me a
And pay
tennis
the dues. Follow the rules and pay the dues.
So if I have to follow the rules, if I have to pay the dues, give me something. A playground, a pool, a gym, pickleball, tennis.
Any pickleball neighborhood? Any neighborhoods that pickleball in it that you know of?
Yes, now, yeah, and
Okay.
some of them are changing their or adding, right? I don't know the measurements, but I think they're also adding the pickleball within the tennis court.
Some
So,
lines on the court type thing?
yes.
Okay.
Do you play pickleball?
I've never played.
I've never played.
I'd love to play at some point.
Do you play
Probably will.
tennis?
not athletically.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I'm I'm not good at it, but I like to think that one day I will be able to do it. I love tennis. I love watching and playing.
Okay, so amenities, tennis, swimming pools, those
Yes.
types of things.
Hmm.
Seeing also like a neighbor like Trilogy, for example, in Denver, has a restaurant in there. But are you seeing from the new construction? I'm asking the new construction queen right now.
Yeah.
The amenities in the new neighborhoods. What's the trend? What are you seeing? Or is it still kind of a basic
I think it's a
package?
basic package, yes. Of course, you talk about trilogy, you talk about 55 plus, and I mean, there is a public for it. I wish there were some that were not, even though they are super cool. I wish there were some that were a little less because they offer so many things that they tend to be very expensive and not. So you are retiring, and then you get a small 3-bedroom house that's 700, $800,000. Not many retirees can do that for a small house. So I wish there were more 55 plus offering regular nice things, but not crazy amazing that cost an arm and a leg for most retirees that cannot afford it.
You've got Alexander Farms that's going vertical right now, right here at the corner, right here in Cornelius. That's an example of one,
Mhm.
right? And that I believe is rentals, 55 and older rentals.
Yes, and
Don't
there's one on 73.
Symphony
I don't
Park.
remember the name, but yeah, close to Publix.
Yeah.
A luxury. I'm actually one day I'm going to stop by and take a look because I'm getting there.
For your clients that you're interacting with, either them themselves making it toward that season of life, or related family members, parents that are now transitioning like that in life in those seasons. Are you hearing a lot of that here locally when people are moving here and things
No,
like that?
actually, I would say
Multi-generational, we'll call it.
yes. I would actually say that most, it's interesting. I would say most people, let's say probably my age that get the aging parents, most would like to have the parents at home. So either basement with a separate entrance,
Mm.
if you cannot afford that, and especially because we don't have many basements in our area, um, guest bedroom with a full bath on the main level, or if you can, second quarter living, on top of the garage or something. I would say most people, at least the ones that come to me, would like to have the parents at home or in the back of in the same lots, not necessarily in the same house or basement, more than I would say people wanting like a 55 plus.
Kind of like a TV sitcom where the parents pop in the door at
Yes,
any
yes.
time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of sitcoms, more or less, the series that keeps going every single week here.
Yes.
We've got to look at the market and see what's available. So we look at active and coming soon units in Canopy MLS. We got to throw some criteria on it. So we do that with 500,000 or less by county, looking at Mecklenburg County always. We've been tracking. Last week was
1714.
1,714 units active and coming soon that are 500,000 or less in Mecklenburg County per Canopy MLS. In a county that has a population of about 1.2 million. And so we'll look today at the end of the show. Also, Maintenance Monday.
Yes.
You got something for us today?
Yep.
Wow.
Always.
Fun, action-packed day here. Story of a buyer, story of a seller. Got to get one of those two
Sure.
going on.
Let's do it.
Asked a little bit about new construction already, but that's ever changing. Interest rates, done anything?
No.
Oh, not at all. Oh, sorry. I was going to say we'll find out, but I guess we already just know that's nothing at all. Coming back.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a cooling, comfy start to the brand new week. Partly cloudy as temperatures warm into the mid-60s for the afternoon. We'll go back down into the comfy low 50s overnight, bumping into the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine as we get into our Tuesday, and we'll continue to warm up. A warm Halloween looks to be in our future across the Lake Norman area. Temperatures likely in the upper 70s for Halloween in the afternoon, cooling back into the upper 60s for trick-or-treating. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses, like Top Notch Gutters of Statesville.
cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Boatyard Eats in Cornelius presents live entertainment Friday and Saturday nights. 70s rock revival Troubadour Project takes the stage at 8:30 Friday night, while 80s tribute band The Breakfast Club headlines Saturday show along with DJ Wheels. Visit boatyardlkn.com for tickets, details, and show information. The 21st annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come join the community in historic downtown Statesville with 2 stages of live entertainment: the Classic Car Cruise-In, Kids Zone, pumpkin activities, and vendors. The Statesville Pumpkin Festival is truly a fall festival for the entire family. Stick around at 5:30 p.m. for the after party with Uptown dueling pianos. For more information, visit statesvillepumpkinfest.com. We'll see you Saturday in downtown Statesville for the annual Pumpkin Festival. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals beginning on November 6th and continuing through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated, the World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back, Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Non-stop shop at Giant Crafts Market. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, hanging out with you on this Monday afternoon, checking the market, seeing what's going on. Remember, we've got more or less coming up at the end of the show. A fun guessing game where Claudia seems to win a significant percentage of times. We'll find out if she wins today. Maintenance Monday also coming up at the end of the show. Want to find out, though, what happened in the past week with, you want to start buyer or seller?
Can I start with myself?
Sure. Yeah, your world.
I don't know if I told you that. It was pretty fun. So on Thursday, Charlotte's Real Producers, the magazine.
Yes, I saw on your Instagram page you were there. You look great. You look beautiful. And Kevin was there with you, right?
Yes.
Yes, y'all look schmitten together.
Yeah, so it was fun because usually when you have broker events or builders having, it's usually just for us. So he never gets to be part of it. So it was a lot of fun. Of course, it's nice to be one of the agents being celebrated. This was top 500. Thank you. But to have him with me was pretty special.
That's awesome.
And at first, when I talked to him about it, he's like, oh, I don't. But then we had a wonderful time. And he said, it's awesome to see this side of your life, like the selling sunset of Charlotte. Everybody dressed up and champagne and ever. So it was very nice to have him with me at that moment. So it was fun.
At home, is it just...
And we get to dress up, which is not always.
Yelling at each other across the house at home, is that common in y'all's household like it is ours, or no? Is that...
No,
okay.
We are, no, we don't. I do with my daughter. He's like, oh, the Brazilians. He's like, I never know if you are like fighting or just talking.
We talked about multi-generational housing before.
Yes.
And that's becoming a thing now almost to some degree. Do you find it more on the buy side or the sell side?
I think the buy, but since we're talking about it and you wanted a story, a seller and a buyer, I'm going to start with the seller story. I have clients that bought a house, new construction, beautiful home during COVID. It's actually a kind of a funny story. I had to protect my clients one day because we were being ghosted by the builder, and I basically broke into the president's office.
Oh, wow.
He threatened to call the police. He's like, you have to.
I thought I knew you. My goodness.
Yeah, and he's like, you have to schedule. I'm like, we've been trying to talk to you, and nobody answers. So here I am. I don't want to do that. I didn't want to have to leave my house and drive, but you made me. So anyway, they bought a house thinking about the multi-generational. He wanted his parents to come and live with them. So there is a bedroom and a bathroom, full bath downstairs. Parents moved in, and of course, I'm not going to ask all the details, but it didn't work out. Parents moved out already, and now, so they had the house they had older teens when they did, so they had the older kids, and then they wanted the parents to come. Now the kids are out, and parents are out, so they have this huge house.
Oh yeah. Time to downsize.
Yes. So it's time. And they were like, you know what? I think we're going to not only downsize, but move to a different area.
Oh.
Because they realize what they can get for their house, can get them a pretty good house for them with space for an extra bedroom or two for the kids or for whoever comes and visit without having. So we are actually taking pictures on my birthday. We are taking exterior pictures because they're still trying to figure out when to move, when to list. But I had 4 houses being photographed last week, just the exterior, because one is already private exclusive. So Compass clients, awesome house in Maiden. And the other 3, we just photographed the outside and drone and video and everything because we might list January and February, and then everything is kind of ugly. So I want to make sure that when we're ready to take inside pictures, that the outside looks amazing because, of course, pictures sell houses too. We want to attract people. So their house, this one specifically, the one that they bought for the multi-generational use, we're taking pictures of the outside Friday.
Okay, so they're moving out prior to putting it to the market. Is
No,
that the right
not necessarily.
assumption?
No. It depends. It depends on many other variables right now, job being one of them, but they are planning. So there is a good chance they'll list the house within the next few months.
Okay. And that process of getting the house ready, do you do, I believe the traditional term in the past of it, like a blue ribbon house in essence, where you've pre-inspection, you've looked at everything. Are you still promoting that to sellers in general?
Yes. So for my listings, not necessarily the official pre-inspection. I mean, I offer to be honest, most people don't want to spend the money. But I do have a checklist that I give my clients of things that are easy to take care of, even if you are a regular homeowner without a lot of handyman talent. It's a simple list. It takes maybe an hour to go through them. And if you need to fix something, it's nothing crazy. Go to Lowe's, spend $30, and you should be able to do it. And the list alone can take care of a lot of items that could come in the inspection. So I do give my clients this, homework list before we list. And then on my side, and I check and I look at stuff and I point it out and I nicely ask them to take care of it. And I send cleaning ladies before pictures, and then the pictures, floor plan, everything else, light stage or actual staging, depending on the case.
So it's a process.
Yes.
And do you have any sellers these days coming to you? I need to sell tomorrow. Like, let's get it on the market tomorrow. Because I imagine through
Yes.
COVID, that was probably a thing. Genuinely, like, let's put it on the market now.
Yes, I did. One of them was kind of like this. I got a call expecting something completely different, and they're like, we need to list this house like now, and I'm taking care of it.
Okay.
So
Well, it happens. There's many different scenarios that you got to
many
deal
different
with.
life changes, people change, whether it's job, um, marriage, divorce, job, kids. There's the 5D, right?
I don't know.
I don't. I'll have to Google during the break, but it's like divorce, death,
Oh,
and I don't know.
Other
I have
things,
to Google. I don't know.
other big life events that
Yes,
can change and
yes.
you can turn on a dime and you not
Yeah.
know, one of those unexpected things.
Mhm.
And that can happen too in certain
To
scenarios.
everyone.
Any estate sales you ever done recently? You got any good estate sales that you've been working on? You ever done a estate sale or been involved with one?
No, I kind of won. I closed a few months ago. It was not like a major one, but it was a state sale. It was not fun. And it actually made me, uh, when we had Candace here to talk about trust and will and have all the documents ready, because I got to see that happening in front of me, and it wasn't pretty. Uh, it is crazy to see how, unfortunately, some people, people show their true colors when money is involved, and many times it's not pretty. And this is one of the reasons I talked when we had Candace here, the attorney, and I talked about it on my Instagram, that we have to plan for the future. We have to plan for, unfortunately, we will all die, so we have to do it. So this was the only time, thank God, and I hope never again, someone dying or anything. It was not fun to see my clients go through like painful things that they shouldn't have to, besides, life itself. So, by the way, this is the state, right? If someone passes. But before I came here, I was looking at some houses for clients of mine, kind of trying to, I'm always trying to find something out of the box for people that are buying. And then I saw this house, and the description said, oh, the state, blah, blah, blah. And for me, depending on the case, when you see something being called a state something, it just means it's very dated. And people are not putting the effort to make it look better. The cozy is actually like a small house. So a state or a stately house probably means super dated.
Old school.
Yes.
And that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. There will be people that will be
A
interested in buying
stately
that.
could be an adjective now, maybe, or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Yes.
Not too much on it.
Yeah.
The buyer side, out of control still. Nobody's got anything available, so everyone's sitting on the sideline waiting for something to happen.
I'm happy some of my clients are finally listening to me. I think I still struggle calling it a buyer's market, but I do think it is. It's crazy because there's no inventory, but I think right now it's buyer's market. And if I'm a buyer, I would take advantage and do it before the end of the year. I think now, because things are kind of sitting on the market, not necessarily, but for what we are used to, I think this is the moment to attack sellers, not mine, but the other sellers, and get things done. I read an article today saying that around the country, I think 42% of houses on the market had at least one price reduction lately. So almost half of the houses on the market are having their prices lowered because they're not selling. So buyers take advantage of it.
Do you think it's that the market was overpriced or that it is contracting?
I think yes and yes, both. Overpriced and the market is shifting.
Wow. If that didn't simplify the market, I don't know what would. Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis. More or less, we still got to know. More or less active and coming soon units on the market, 500,000 or less. Looking at Mecklenburg County, we'll see if there's more this week than last week. Also, Maintenance Monday. Got to get a tip.
More of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a cooling, comfy start to the brand new week. Partly cloudy as temperatures warm into the mid-60s for the afternoon. We'll go back down into the comfy low 50s overnight, bumping into the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine as we get into our Tuesday, and we'll continue to warm up. A warm Halloween looks to be in our future across the Lake Norman area. Temperatures likely in the upper 70s for Halloween in the afternoon, cooling back into the upper 60s for trick-or-treating. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
DrumLandscapeSupply.com. DrumLandscapeSupply.com. DrumLandscapeSupply.com.
Honey, what are you doing?
Oh, I figured if I rubbed my lawn and said DrumLandscapeSupply.com, I'd have the dream lawn I've always wanted.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress, just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
This is Brad with Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms in Mooresville. If you haven't been in the store, come check us out. See the highest end outdoor furniture, game room supplies you can find anywhere in North Carolina. 847 Brawley School Road in Mooresville. LKNpatio.com, outdoor living at its finest.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. When the CDC announced an E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's locations in several states, the impact on McDonald's visits and sales was immediate. Debit and credit transactions have fallen every day since compared to year-ago levels. That's according to data from Bloomberg's second measure. Boeing has launched a fundraiser in an effort to preserve its credit rating and to replenish the company's cash holdings, which Boeing started burning through well before its East Coast strike, now in its 7th week. What's for sale? Several million shares worth nearly $19 billion. New York's famous meatpacking district is losing the last of its meat packers. One of the city's longest operating meat markets is making way for a housing development and a potential expansion of the Whitney Museum of American Art. On Wall Street, gains across the board, with the main averages rising 1/3 to 3/4%. Tracy Jonke, Bloomberg Radio.
It's today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, hanging out with you this Monday. More or less. We'll find out if there's more or less active.
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready to go? To be honest with you, I haven't looked up yet.
Okay, so let's talk about something else.
Okay, well, we'll move on from that. Maintenance Monday also going to be coming up at the last segment of the show as well. We were talking about sellers, the marketplace. You still believe it to be a seller's marketplace overall right now?
I'm not going to lie and give you an answer. I'm going to be, since we're talking, since it's election year and moment, I'm going to not answer your question.
1 week from tomorrow, you can vote as well. We are encouraging everyone to vote. If you are able to vote, you should vote. And you voted this year.
I did last week.
And Nina voted this year, your daughter.
Nina, yes.
Her first time voting.
Very first time.
How was that for you? You still
It was
still
very
excited?
exciting, yes. It is a great moment to be there with her, so.
I did vote this past weekend. When I brought the kids with me, as we talked about, I did go to town hall. I parked in the middle of the grass, walked through the grass.
I heard, on the Good Morning. Okay, yes, I heard that.
So
it is annoying that they come attack you as you are walking.
It's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. At town hall in Cornelius.
Yeah, this is where we went. Yeah, I should have listened to you before we went because I didn't do it. And then everybody coming and which is crazy again in Brazil. Because, of course, I'm used to voting in Brazil. This is not allowed at all. Like, you cannot, nobody can be around any uh, place of, like, you have to be quiet and
You were saying, I think last time you go into your own like classroom almost to
yes,
vote
yes.
individually.
It's basically every school, and every year you go to the same classroom. Only
Interesting.
a few people vote. Yes.
Well, you have your chance to vote right now until November 2nd. You can also register to vote simultaneously.
Mhm.
That's the other part. Was Nina already registered before
Yes.
she went?
Oh,
Okay.
because she was waiting.
And
Mhm.
because of
It's
her
very
mama,
cute.
I would
Yes.
imagine
Yes.
too.
Everything was done. I think she was 18 in 3 days, and she was already ready to go. Oh, you know me, right? We have let's say my Google Calendar. I have all the dates, for instance, when we have to renew our passports for the rest of our lives. Everything is already planned and scheduled, so I don't forget anything.
I believe it. But you're organized, and that
I
happens. And how does that translate? Okay, let's say for buyers right now in the marketplace, what are you finding you have to help them organize? Is it the connecting to the lenders? Is it making sure all the pieces and everything is being held together? What is it that you find buyers these days are more savvy about and things that they need to hand holding on more, I guess?
At the same time, they are savvy. They also fall for, false promises very easily, because if you are on Google or on YouTube, or if you see, some people love to advertise it as it's easy money or easy to do, or super low interest rates that are completely unreasonable for the market. So sometimes I'm talking to my buyer. I have the lenders I trust and I know are honest, real people that will get the things done. And then Google comes, and then they look for lenders and say, hey, this lender, XYZ, is saying that they can do it for 4%. And I'm like, it's a lie. They're fishing, because the market does not, like, it cannot be done. So, yes, they have the power to learn, which is awesome. Some buyers come, I love it. I love when buyers come and they know what they have to do, or they know parts of it. But at the same time, many times these buyers are the same ones that go, you know, in the rabbit hole, and then they start traveling and saying things that are not reality. So I have to kind of bring them back. But in terms of my clients, because, and this is one of the things, again, Compass was one of the major things that made me join Compass, was that again, because I'm very organized, I have a whole set of things I make my buyers do. But it was all kind of like in my mind and my calendar. So everything the same way I have my passports renewals for like the next 100 years, I had all buyers, but it's all in my mind and my calendar, and I'm like manually adding one by one. Now I have Compass helping me. So my clients receive a whole timeline, like a cute little PDF that I prepared, plus calendar, plus reminders. So I'm on top of the stuff to make sure my clients do what they have to do in order to get the house, close in time, and get the house.
It's a process for a buyer as much
There's
as
a
it is for a
lot
seller.
of things people don't understand. And not only that, there's a lot, not only what you tell them, right, the things they have to do, but a lot that goes behind the scenes, let's say. It has to be a well-oiled machine for the closing to be successful and not stressful. And people don't realize that there's a lot. And I know part of it's our fault, because people nowadays are on social media following agents, and many times we as a group of professionals, we make it look more glamorous more glamorous and easier than it is. So people have an idea that it's like, oh, things happen just like that. And it's not true. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes. Like this morning, I was talking to some agents already, trying to work things out, offers to be done, and our clients don't know we're doing this. So
a lot to do behind the scenes,
Mhm.
even in the process. And so when you're working with a buyer and you're seeing them, navigate the channels of not only the loan, but also the inspections, are you finding that the condition of the house is becoming more and more, because we've talked about that the price has gone up, right? But again, in this market, how is that translating?
this is something that I wish I knew the answer, honestly, because especially for renovated houses, and it's something that drives me insane because I don't, and I do not think it's, let's say, sellers' fault, people that are renovating to sell. And I think there's so many unqualified and lousy professionals that somehow even get the county inspections to be given when they did a horrible job. This week, the barbecue I had yesterday, my client said that beautiful, beautiful home, large, I mean, amazing. And they were telling me that a few days after they moved in and we had inspected, I mean, again, a high-end house in a gated community, everything was beautiful. The house was inspected. A few days after closing, they noticed that there was some kind of leak in their kitchen sink. Didn't know exactly, called a guy. The sink was being held by like two studs or something.
Living life.
So
On the
I
edge.
doubt, yes. So they spent like $600 to redo the sink. And I don't think that the sellers did it on purpose. So I think they hired someone. They believe the person was doing a renovation the way it should be done. And then whoever they hired put two studs holding the kitchen sink.
So at this point in the market, how contentious, we'll say, is the common scenario, I would say, and I think common is an okay word, of a buyer submitting a due diligence repair request during the due diligence period, even though the contract, the standard Form 2T, clearly indicates that it is as is,
Mhm.
but still making the request,
Yes.
believing that based on the
Yes.
value and what they're paying, that would include certain things that they're in particular looking for. How does that conversation normally go, scale of 1 to 10 of violence?
Actually, now more and more, especially, of course, people that are not from here, but and I don't know if it will change one day, but more and more people would like to have the inspections done before putting an offer on the house. Because when you think about, okay, I am offering something that I will lose if I walk away without knowing anything about the structure of the house. Why or how? So I think, again, because it's not the crazy market, I think many buyers are wanting to lower the due diligence fee because they don't want to take a chance. People are not desperate for houses anymore like they were during COVID. So I think in most situations, I would say due diligence fee is much lower than it was, and I think it might go back to 2019, where I think $1,000 worked.
In some instances, every single transaction being negotiable, but as far as a dollar amount that, I remember even there was some deals back in, when I first started that, $100 was enough as far as the due diligence fee
Crazy.
and the negotiation.
Good
Times
old
have
days,
changed.
yes.
Times have changed. Every deal's different. Every deal's unique, and sellers are demanding. They're asking. They're controlling the market completely? Not completely.
No,
Can't be
no.
completely.
I think buyers now. It's crazy.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a cooling, comfy start to the brand new week. Partly cloudy as temperatures warm into the mid-60s for the afternoon. We'll go back down into the comfy low 50s overnight, bumping into the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine as we get into our Tuesday, and we'll continue to warm up. A warm Halloween looks to be in our future across the Lake Norman area. Temperatures likely in the upper 70s for Halloween in the afternoon, cooling back into the upper 60s for trick-or-treating. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
cookies, toys, and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Boatyard Eats in Cornelius presents live entertainment Friday and Saturday nights. 70s rock revival Troubadour Project takes the stage at 8:30 Friday night, while 80s tribute band The Breakfast Club headlines Saturday show along with DJ Wheels. Visit boatyardlkn.com for tickets, details, and show information. The 21st annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come join the community in historic downtown Statesville with 2 stages of live entertainment: the Classic Car Cruisin', Kid Zone, pumpkin activities, and vendors. The Statesville Pumpkin Festival is truly a fall festival for the entire family. Stick around at 5:30 p.m. for the after party with Uptown dueling pianos. For more information, visit statesvillepumpkinfest.com. We'll see you Saturday in downtown Statesville for the annual Pumpkin Festival. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals beginning on November 6th and continuing through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated, the World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Non-stop shop at Giant Crafts Market. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis. Is this the same check you brought in last week that I did not get to talk to you about? What is?
That's why I'm like, look at the check. Let's talk about it. This is my homeowner's insurance.
Okay.
You can shop around, and I wanted to remind people about that.
That you can shop
You
for different
can.
insurance.
So, as a reminder, when you have a loan, especially, you have 4 or 5 items that are part of your payment. Can you give me some of them?
Pity payment, principal,
Pity.
interest, taxes, insurance.
And then maybe PMI.
Okay, and
private
then maybe
mortgage
PMI.
insurance
Yeah.
if you don't have 20% down. Okay. And then principal and interest never change unless you refinance, but your property taxes may change because the government will want more money over time, and your homeowner's insurance can change either if you have a claim and then you're hit by a higher homeowner's insurance
Sure.
next year,
Or the company raises their rates.
and it's been happening, by the way. But you can shop around, and you can actually shop around whenever. So you don't have to wait for the full year to shop around. And in my case, I brought the check because people worry about the escrow accounts, right? You are paying every month, and they worry that money will disappear or be used in a incorrect way. And that's why I brought the check to let them know I got, for my own house, a much higher quote when the renovation time was coming. I called my broker and I asked them to take a look and see what else was out there. I found one that was way more reasonable, as good as, because I always say don't get the cheapest one without knowing what it's covering, because then you can get in trouble. And then when I signed for the new one, what the mortgage company does, right? When you transfer your homeowner's insurance, they prorate whatever you owe for company number 1, and whatever is left, you get a check and you deposit in your bank. So you keep paying your escrow account, but whatever difference you get. So I got a check for $633.
Interesting.
Because the escrow account is your money to pay your taxes, your homeowner's insurance. And if you get a cheaper homeowner's insurance, you get the money back. You just have to be sure to put it on your calendar, because sometimes they forget for a while and it might take months for you to get the check. So whenever you do that, shop around, check, but then put on your calendar, did I get my check back? If not, you call. You will get the money back. You just have to check when the check comes. Do you shop around or you just let life take its you if I know you, you have no idea how much you pay for homeowners insurance. You don't shop around.
I don't shop around, and it's not because of me not wanting to. There's also a cost to the pain of changing insurance and the time it takes and all of that. And for me, it's also a bundle of other insurances, right? So it's kind of a little. I'm okay with paying a little like $10 a month difference on it if I also have all these other things located in one place, and that's just. And there's also other kinds of insurance that you can do that with commercial insurance too, because commercial liability insurance as well is very different. That's a very common thing in the commercial world for it to change and everything else like that because it's not cheap. Insurance is not getting less expensive over time. We will see what is the effect of Hurricane Helene. I mean, this is something for North Carolina. You're going to have a lot of people making potential flood claims or insurance claims, and they don't have flood insurance. And so we're going to see an effect directly here in North Carolina based on Hurricane Helene. One way or another. Which way it lands, I don't know. But we will see something will shift in the insurance world based on Hurricane Helene. It's got to.
And also people have to, I was talking to someone from Florida saying that they will have to replace the roof, but even though it's a lot of money, it's going to be better and almost cheaper to pay out of pocket than to file a claim, because if they file a claim, number one, their insurance might go way up, and not only that, they might be dropped from the insurance. So they prefer to save it for something else. So they are replacing the roof, so they are not punished with it's crazy. And I think the homeowners insurance will get a bigger part of the whole picture as time passes and we have more of these major hurricanes and
interest rates have gone up over the past few years. Arguably, in some instances, depending on your municipality, your taxes may have gone up or are going up for this particular bill as the first, or the next one will be the first. But then insurance becomes another part of that equation, and we'll see what that effect is over time. As far as it goes, though, buyers got to live somewhere. What's the inventory like? More or less active and coming soon units in Canopy MLS. We got to put some criteria on it. So 500,000 or less by county. Looking at Mecklenburg County, been tracking it week over week. A majority of it is up as far as inventory since we kind of started this thing. Last week, 1,714. Claudia Ogrizek, more or less this week?
I'm going to say less than 1,700.
Okay, I'm going to give you half answer. It is less.
Okay.
But it is 1,705.
Okay.
So a few units higher than 1,700. Again, reminder, Mecklenburg County, a county with a population of 1.2 million, and there are but less than 2,000 active and coming soon units that are 500,000 or less on market.
Yes.
Does new construction, do investors, do those groups of people who aren't in the MLS, we'll say, or showcasing everything in the MLS, does that shift the market?
I don't even know why they avoid being on MLS. I think they are wasting time and losing the chance of selling faster. So now it's kind of crazy. Many don't put their inventory on MLS, but then they're offering. So that's why buyers call me and let's get this out. They're offering crazy incentives, closing costs, a bunch of stuff, lower interest rates because they are not selling. And I think one of the reasons they're not selling is because they're not on MLS. So they don't have the agents helping them, which is like mind-blowing. Like you have thousands of agents working, trying to find houses to buyers that are ready to buy, and then you don't put on MLS, and then you don't sell, and then you offer closing costs, and you offer low interest rates that, of course, you're paying for because you're artificially lowering the interest rate. So why not put on MLS?
But for
I had a closing on Friday that was not on MLS. And this builder, I got 2 emails, and they're crazy. They're offering a bunch of, I think it's $3.99 in some of the houses percent. And I'm like, I mean, I don't care because I think they are making a mistake. But I'm like, if you are on MLS, a bunch of buyers that have the searches set up by their agents would find the house, and they can't because they're not online.
Okay, this kind of goes against, though, the thinking right now for you as a broker and agent representing a buyer, looking for inventory, trying to find the next deal without the price go up. Because, I mean, in time during COVID, not uncommon when a new neighborhood was coming on board. All of a sudden, there's a wait list on the lots.
Oh,
There's a bidding war going on the lots. That wasn't an uncommon thing. That's not fun. I don't want to go back to that. I don't know if anybody really
and
does
it
if you're a
still
buyer in this
happens. It
marketplace.
still happens.
To a degree.
Yes, but super high um, school districts that everybody wants to be in. You still have the lottery, you still have the wait list, you still have bidding wars. But I would say most need clients, and they are not advertising it,
Interesting.
which
Well, we'll
is crazy.
see what happens
And
in
it's
the
a
new
pain. It's a
construction.
pain for the buyers that can find it, and it's a pain for us because we have to kind of sometimes, because if I'm driving, of course, I can't check if it's on MLS as I drive by a neighborhood. So I'm like a crazy lady. I see a sign, I see cleared land, and I take pictures to try to figure out if it's an MLS or it's like a secret neighborhood that I'm finding for my. So I'm always taking pictures of cleared areas or a sign because I don't know if they're going to be on MLS. And I want to help my clients and I want to help the builders. So
You know, the funny thing is at one point back in the day, that's what it was. You had to know where the neighborhoods were. You had to go see them. And so the access to, through the MLS has just changed everything. It used to be a book, that got delivered back in the day. And so, but you are someone who hunts in the market like that. And if they buy new construction or resale, doesn't matter. You still got to take care of the unit and you still got to maintain it over the years if you want that value to keep going up.
Mhm.
So what you got for us maintenance Monday?
Water heater. The water heater has to be maintained. Our water is, believe it or not too clean. So you have a bunch of sediment and debris and, I don't know, organisms. So over time, your water heater gets filled with stuff. But one thing, I'm going to give my example. When I bought my house, it's a resale, older home, and the water heater was a few years old. And I talked to my plumber, and he said, look, I don't think by the look of it that they ever maintain it. So now don't touch it because now it's too late and you might destroy it. So now he's like, just pray it will last. So it's kind of weird, but we are always like, is it today? Because it's like, don't touch it. But you can do many things. Number one, right temperature, 120, so you don't get burned, and you can adjust. Some people like water that's very hot, but a plumber will not change it for you. I don't know if you know that because they cannot be liable for it, but you can go and make it hotter. Like in the summer, I usually adjust it to 100, so I'm not wasting gas warming it up because we don't need it. Yes. Right. So I do that. And then if you have a new home or if you have been doing the maintenance, you can flush your water heater. Ideally, you do it every year. Pretty easy. Connect a hose, empty it, and it should be, but don't do it if you've never done it. Like, don't start like mine. He said it's clearly has never been done, so don't do it now. When you get the new one, then you do it. But yeah.
A lot of options with the water heater.
Yes. And I'm going to have more details on my Instagram about everything you can do. So just check my Instagram later this week, and you should know everything that you can do for your water heater.
Check it out later. Check it out anytime you want. Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, Justin Ckezepis. We will be back next week with more. More or less, we don't know. We'll find out. Is the market going to shift from a seller to a buyer's market? Although by the end of the show, I thought you said it was a buyer's market.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't
Maintenance
know.
Monday
I don't
also.
know.
We'll figure it out next week.